Hey, what's going on everyone, this is iReviews back with another video, and today I will show you guys the correct camera settings that you should use on your iPhone on iOS 14 to get better quality pictures and videos as well. I will also show you guys a bunch of different tips and tricks that will help you shoot better pictures and videos, also will make your life much easier when using the camera app of your iOS 14 device. Now, before we get into that, leave a comment, let me know which settings you actually use for photos and videos on your iPhone, and also don't forget to like this video. That helps me out a lot and helps this video do much better. Alright, we're starting off with the settings app, so go to settings and under camera you will find formats. Now under formats, this is for pictures. You can change the format in which you take pictures. Basically we have two different formats. You have high efficiency, it explains itself, it will basically take pictures that are smaller in size, that way they will take less space on your device. But of course we're talking here about quality, so if you want to get better quality pictures, make sure you use most compatible. This will basically take pictures that are larger but also better in quality. So if you're going for quality and you have enough storage on your iPhone, make sure you use most compatible. You will also find now a new option on iOS 14 called Apple Pro RAW. This basically shoots raw pictures, which are of course easier on post edit, but that's of course maybe for professionals, people that use Photoshop and all that. So if you don't actually need that, you just shoot pictures for your iPhone, then you don't have to use this. Now this will take pictures that will be around 25 megabytes each, so that will take up a lot of space on your device. Now you will find also some other settings right here that can make your pictures better. One of them is Smart HDR. Now by enabling Smart HDR, basically your iPhone will blend like different parts of different pictures and different exposures into one single shot, that way giving you a much better picture. You also have some new settings that Apple has introduced with iOS 14, like lens correction. Basically it will just correct the lens on the front and the ultra wide cameras. You will also have prioritize faster shooting. Now with prioritize faster shooting, your iPhone will adapt image quality when you need to quickly take pictures. So if you take pictures all the time and you need to quickly have your iPhone in hand and take a picture, then make sure you enable this. Moving on to the video settings. So when you go to record video, here you will have a bunch of different settings. Now starting from 720p. Now of course that's way low and the videos won't look that good at all, but of course it will take way less space on your device, but of course you don't want to use that. Now here's what I suggest. Now of course this is simple. If you just want the best quality, you go for 4K 30 frames per second. If you want a more natural look, or if you want 60 frames per second, then you can go with 4K 60 frames per second. That will take quite a lot of space on your device, but of course the videos will look really awesome. Now here's what I suggest and what I do. Most of the time I shoot on 1080p 60 frames per second. Now why should I do that? Because I have here an iPhone that can shoot 4K, because I only watch those videos on my iPhone. So if you don't have a screen, you don't have a monitor that basically just has your videos playing on 4K, then you don't actually need to shoot on 4K. Shooting on 4K and playing the video on a 1080p monitor, it basically doesn't have any effect. It will look just like a 1080p video or maybe even worse. So just keep in mind, if you're just keeping your iPhone videos on your iPhone and nowhere else, then this will be the best option for you. It will take way less space on your device. Now here you can see it takes about 175 megabytes per minute on 1080p at 60 frames per second, while on 4K 60 frames per second it will take 400 megabytes, like 3 times more space. Now of course, again, if you're going for the best quality, always go for 4K 60 frames per second, but this is an option that you have to consider. And we'll also have here HDR video. This is new with iOS 14, and on the newer iPhones it will basically record up to 60 frames per second video on 10-bit high dynamic range, including of course the new Dolby Vision. Now this just makes the videos look crazy. The videos with this option enabled, of course, they will take quite a lot of space, but they will look actually amazing on your device and on a monitor. If you have a 4K monitor, they will look just amazing. So that's really great if you have an iPhone that can do that and you have enough storage. Make sure you enable that as well. Now you also have here auto frames per second. Now with auto frames per second, basically your iPhone will automatically reduce the frames per second when you're on an ambient, then it's on low light, then it will basically go from 60 to 30 frames per second automatically, so that it can have more light on that video. So if you're shooting at night, I suggest you keep this in mind and of course enable this option. Your videos will look much better. Another thing that you should do on your iPhone, if you shoot overhead videos or pictures, then make sure you enable this option right here. It's called grid. You enable it here. When you go to the camera, you will have this grid on your camera right here. And if you put your iPhone like face down, if you're shooting overhead, it will show you like two different plus signs. One is white and one is yellow. And when you just match them together, you will have your iPhone leveled perfectly, so your videos will look much better. Now let me show you guys some tricks that you can use on your camera app to basically make your life easier while shooting videos and pictures on your iPhone. Now one of them is of course shooting quickly videos from the photos mode here. If you're on the photos mode, you're shooting photos, you just tap and hold, slide right here, and now you're quickly shooting a video. But what you can do here is also just slide like this, and now you're shooting burst pictures. So if you don't know how to shoot burst pictures, you can do that simply by swiping like this, which is really cool. Now another thing that you can do is shoot videos with filters. Now when you go to video here, you don't have filters, but what you can do is go to photo, you can enable a filter here, and then just use that trick to actually start shooting video from here. So just lock it like this, and now you're shooting video and you also have the filter enabled. It's as easy as that, of course, getting this filter on the videos. Of course, you don't have it on the video mode, but you can actually do that from here, from the photos mode. You can also use the volume buttons on your camera app. So you can use the volume up button here to quickly take burst pictures, or if you want to quickly shoot video, you can tap and hold the volume down button. So while you're holding it, you're shooting the video. Once you release the button, the video is done. So just like that, and it's done. So anytime you need to quickly shoot a video, you just launch your camera, make sure you just press and hold the volume down, and as long as you're holding the volume down button, it will shoot pictures. Now when you're on the camera mode, you can notice right there at the top we have the settings of the video. So currently we have there HD, which is basically 1080p at 60 frames per second. You can change those from settings. You can also change those from here. Now by tapping on 4K in this case, I can change the resolution of the video. So 4K HD, just like that. But you can see the 60 right there doesn't change. That's the frames per second. You can change that, of course, by tapping on it. So it will have actually two different buttons here. You have one to change the frames per second, and you have another one to change the resolution. So that's basically it for this video, guys. These are the best settings that you should use on your camera app to take better pictures and videos on your iPhone. Also a few tips and tricks that will make your life easier while using your iPhone's camera on iOS 14. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you on the next one.